are obsessed with the why of monstrous acts. When we see the names, presidents, Nobel laureates, titans of tech, linked to a desolate island of depravity, our first instinct is to build a wall. We call them deviants. We call them monsters. We do this to protect our own sense of sanity, believing that the elite belong to a different species of soul. But René Girard offers no such comfort. He suggests that what we witnessed was not a lapse in reason, but the apotheosis of a logic we all share. These men did not fall because they were unique. They fell because they were identical. Welcome to the first gate. Today, we strip away the conspiracy to reveal the mechanics of the soul. We will explore how, in the matrix of imitation, intelligence is not a shield. It is merely an accelerant for the fire of envy. Humanity is built on a romantic lie, the lie that we know what we want. We believe our desires move in a straight line, from the self to the object. I want the power because it is useful. I want the gold because it is rare. Girard reveals the third point, the model. We don't want the object. We want to be the person who possesses it. In the high towers of power, they don't care about the money. They already own the mint. They care about divinity. But since no man is a god, they look to each other to see where the sacred is hidden. On that island, the depravity itself was secondary. It was the model that mattered. If a billionaire and a scientist are both drawn to a singular, forbidden point, that point becomes holy through their collective gaze. They weren't following a man named Epstein. They were following the reflection of their own desires in the eyes of their peers. They became the doubles, locked in a dance of imitation where the original self is discarded for the sake of the circle. There is a ghost in the machine of desire. Girard called it the double. We think that by loathing someone, we are pushing them away. We tell ourselves, I am nothing like them. But hatred is not distance. Hatred is the ultimate form of attention. When you obsess over a rival, when you study their sins to prove your own purity, you're using them as your model. The triangle collapses. The object you both wanted disappears. All that remains are two people staring into each other's eyes, locked in a death grip of imitation. This is the tragedy of the island. They started as rivals, trying to outdo one another in their sophistication. But the more they competed, the more they converged. They started to use the same language, adopt the same cruelties, and share the same dark secrets. By the end, they were indistinguishable. The man who hates the monster so much that he spends his life hunting it eventually finds a mirror. And in the mirror, the beak is growing. The scales are forming. In the Matrix, your enemy doesn't just defeat you, he replaces you. Fyodor Dostoevsky knew this darkness better than anyone. In his novels, characters don't fight for bread. They fight for recognition. They crawl through the mud of their own pride just to be noticed by the very people they claim to despise. Girard called Dostoevsky the prophet of the underground. He saw that modern man is a subterranean creature. We live in a basement of our own vanity, looking up at the feet of our models. The elite on that island were Dostoevskian characters in custom-made suits. They were possessed by the demon of the double. They believed that by possessing the forbidden, they could finally reach a state of being where they no longer had to envy anyone. But the underground has no ceiling. The further you fall, the more identical you become to the demons you once looked down upon. When the mimetic crisis becomes too great, when the secret becomes a public contagion, the system must protect itself. It does this through the oldest technology known to man, the scapegoat. Epstein had to die, not merely because of what he knew, but because of what he was to the system. By concentrating all the evil into a single figure, The community achieves a miraculous purification. By casting him out, the other mimics can breathe again. They condemn him with a fury that masks their own participation. But a peace bought with a scapegoat is a temporary anesthesia. The hunger remains. The rivals are still watching each other. The names on the list are still looking for a new wholly forbidden thing. The Matrix doesn't want to fix the problem. It just wants to change the subject. So, where is the door? The Matrix tells you the exit is up. More power, more exposure, more divinity. But the exit is actually out. The greatest threat to the elite is not your anger, it is your indifference. The exit is the radical decision to stop looking at the model and start looking at the neighbor. The neighbor is the only antidote to the rival. While the rival invites you to compete for a phantom divinity, the neighbor invites you to serve a concrete reality. To be truly free is to be boring to the Matrix. It is to find such profound satisfaction in the mundane, in the soil of your garden, the silence of your conscience, that the lures of the island no longer have a frequency to latch on to. The island is a trap for those who need to be somebody. The exit is reserved for those who are brave enough to be nobody in the eyes of the world. The island is sinking, but the ocean of envy is wide. Stop looking for the gods of this world. They are just ghosts imitating other ghosts. Reclaim your desire. The door has always been unlocked. Step through.